Bonjour, mes amis. It is time for part 2 of the Fontaine Productions. But don't worry, I'm not going to do the French voice the entire time. Alright, so we just got the trailer for 4.0 for Fontaine, and the developer talking. Unfortunately, it's not, the voice cast talking, it's the developers talking in Chinese, so I don't watch it. I probably should, but I don't watch it. Subtitles. I got other things to do. Anyway, actually, there wasn't even subtitles available, come to think of it, so I couldn't watch it because I don't know Chinese, at least not that dialect of Chinese. Anyway, we've got info we can work with. So, Focalors, starting off with Focalors. I think it's official. We can call her Furina. I'm going to start calling her Furina. You get a pan of Furina as she's saying, "I am Focalors and I welcome you to the nation of Hydro." Yeah, she's Furina. So I'm just going to start calling her Furina from now on. From what we saw of the trailer and from what we saw of the Overture trailer, I think we can definitively put her in Personality 1. She is the over-the-top, overly grandiose, show-off type. Which is, kind of what we expected, or at least what I expected. I would have been interested to see Personality 3, and it's possible that Personality 3 could be woven into Personality 1. Personality 3, I had 3 different personality ideas of what she would be. Personality 3 was that she was a manipulative control freak and had to have her hands in everything, so she could be using the big, grandiose personality as a mask for the control freak. But for right now, it's Personality 1, big, over-the-top, grandiose, I am glorious, look at me and praise my majesty. Which, again, is not unexpected. We got hints of this from the description of her that Dainsliff gave in the story trailer. We got what's said on the Hydro gemstone. We had obviously the little glimpse of her in the Overture. All of it just pointed to her being this show-offy type character. So, that said, it is still potential that she cares about the people of Fontaine, just not in the same way. I give the Archons a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Leeway. Like, I'm impartial to giving the Archons leeway and not judging them solely based off of first appearances. Look at, for example, she was the antagonistic Archon that we first fought against, and she actually had good intentions. She just went about it horribly. I'm not going to say that she was smart or wise or it was a good idea for what she was doing, but her intentions deep down were mildly admirable. So it's entirely possible that Furina has admirable intentions, she's just going about it the wrong way. It is constantly pointed out that she is, if not scared of, at least not inclined towards pissing off Celestia, which makes sense. I mean, they did destroy an entire nation, so it is entirely possible that she is using her over-the-top, grandiose, justice is the only thing that matters, persecute the criminals, to try and show that she still follows the ideals of Celestia, and thus, hey, leave my people alone, they're fine, they're pure, I'm getting rid of all the negative, just go away. So it's possible. And, there was the prophecy at the beginning of the trailer video about how the people of Fontaine would be dissolved into the waters, and all that would be left would be the Hydro Archon weeping on her throne. It's entirely possible that part of her personality is that she wants to not allow this to happen. We just don't know full well how that will be, but we'll have to see. Despite all this, despite all the leeway I'm giving her, she's gonna be a handful. I mean, I have a feeling that with Focalor, you are either going to love her or hate her, and there is not going to be very much in between. It's just, either her personality will make you laugh, or it will make you want to strangle her. That's just, from the trailer we got, that's just how I see it. She's a very polarizing Archon, which should be interesting. Okay, moving on to the next one. Nouveliette. He seems to be very much in charge of just his general area. Not necessarily the country itself, although I'm sure he is. He's the Chief Justice. But he seems to be, whatever situation he's in, the head honcho. He's in charge. You're doing what he says. Otherwise, he'll just intimidate you into doing it with his glary eyes and deep-ass voice. We don't know too much about him. I'll get into a speculation about him regarding the story towards the end of this. But I think we can clearly see that he's not human, or at least not fully human. He's got the pointy ears and the slitted eyes. What that may be, I'm not going to speculate. We don't have enough information. He could be an elf. He could be a snake person. He could be, I don't know, Dracula's long-lost brother. We don't know. We'll just have to see. Next character that we get a little bit more information about is Navia. I think that's how it's pronounced. I apologize if it's not. She is clearly our nation friend. So in Inazuma, we had Ayaka and Yoimiya. In Sumeru, we had Tainari and Nilu. She's in the same vein as that. She is the character who's going to be helping us along, explaining the rules, stuff like that. Maybe we'll also get Charlotte, but she seems to be the pivotal quest character who is in the, or not quest character, well, yeah, no, quest character, Archon quest character who is helping us along. So, yay, Navi. She is obviously a Geo Claymore. We saw her vision in the Overture trailer, and now we see her weapon while she was fighting the mechs. So, yeah, we got Noelle 2.0. Let's see how they make her different. It should be interesting. Her line about rain. She seems surprised. And I'm going to get into this later, but I think that has a lot of significance. So we'll just have to see on that. Alright, moving on, we have Clorinde. I think that, I'm not sure how that's pronounced. She is Electro Sword, we saw that. She is zippy, kind of like Kuching. I'm looking forward to seeing how they differentiate her. We already have Kuching and Dendro Kuching, or Alhaitham. I hope we don't get a third Kuching. So let's just put that over to this one side. Lynette and Linnae. Specifically in Lynette. I don't think her disappearing is as bad as the trailer is making it seem. I think it's just part of the show. It's a magic act. So a bit of suspense and, oh my god, what heck is going on, is par for the course. So I think that they're just trying to mislead us, and nothing actually happens to Lynette. She just disappears from the tank. It slams down, everyone's shocked. Oh no, where'd she go? And then suddenly she reappears later. I don't think that's a big problem. Okay, now here's the big speculation one. Egeria. I think that's how that's pronounced. She is the voice that was on the... She was the voiceover when Fremne was sinking down into the water during the Overture trailer. And I think she was the voice... So it showed a picture of the throne above the water, and then it dipped under the water, and then there was somebody who was blue and white and kind of like had fins, and then it's panned up to the Traveler, if you watch the trailer. I think that was Egeria. And I think she was the previous Hydro Archon, and possibly the mother or a very powerful Oceanid. Now, the reason I think she's the Hydro Archon is because Furina it was a Roman, not Greek, Roman, goddess of streams. Not streams, springs. Like springs of water, not springs the season. And Egeria is also a Roman nymph, and she was designed as a water, or she was designated as a water nymph. So that just seems like it'd be a little too perfect not to fit in with each other. And then plus, I think she's an Oceanid because, again, nymph. Also, Zhongli Morax was the basically king of the Adepti. Venti Barbados used to be a wind spirit. It's not out of the realm of possibility for a previous, like the original Archon, to be an elemental spirit of some kind. And then on top of that, it looks like Oceanids are made of pure hydro, and when the previous Hydro Archon died, her body turned into pure water and kind of like made the pool of Amrita. So it seems to fit all in that she was an Oceanid who became the previous Hydro Archon. So that's characters. That's what we've got so far from characters. Oh, also, yay, Child's there. Woohoo! Hello, Fatui. Moving on to the story. We don't see Arlecchino so far yet. That doesn't mean that we won't see her in the story. It just means that we don't see her in the trailer, and maybe they're trying to keep her in the background hidden. But for the story, okay. This, so much speculation, so many different twists and whatnot. The line about your precious justice, your precious drama without caring about the people, makes me think that Nouvelliette, when he says charges have been pressed and now there will be a trial, I think that he is trying Furina. I think that he is trying Furina in the name of the people of Fontaine and judging her as an Archon, whether she's actually doing a good job or not, or if, basically, are you a good Archon? If not, we're going to supplant you and put somebody else in your place. So Furina was highlighted by being up in shadow, and she said, yes, I believe this will be the finale. So that also helps me think that, okay, they've been going back and forth for a while, and now Nouvelliette is taking action against Furina for whatever reason, and she's just like, yeah, okay, we've been playing this game for a while, now we're gonna finish it. So that's what I think. And I also think that he is in control of the mechs. Now, this could be the entire other way around. She could be in control of the mechs and trying to somehow supplant Nouvelliette. I don't think that it is. I'm guessing that it's going to be Nouvelliette trying to supplant Furina, but I could be wrong. I'll fully admit that. I just think that he's the one who's in charge and is causing all this commotion. I also thought for a while that Clorinde, I think that's how it's pronounced, was on Nouvelliette's side, but that doesn't seem to be the case because I thought she was controlling the mechs to attack the Traveler and Navia, but Clorinde attacked the mechs, which confuses me because I thought she was on Nouvelliette's side. But we'll have to see on that one. Now, the question here becomes, why is the Traveler in the middle of all this? I don't think that the Traveler is the one on trial. There's no reason for him to be on trial from Nouvelliette. From Furina, maybe, but not from Nouvelliette. So I want to know why he's siding against whoever is controlling the mechs. If it is Nouvelliette, what Nouvelliette did that pissed off the Traveler. So that's going to be interesting. And Child, obviously, you saw him at the end. I think he's interceding on behalf of the Traveler to help them out. And potentially, so, he's a big, he respects the Tsaritsa a lot. Maybe he's also saying, hey, this is your Archon, you're supposed to be loyal to your Archon, what the hell are you doing? I don't know, that might be a stretch. Okay. Another thing, rain. So Navia talked about how it's raining, and her voice acting seems surprised by this, which makes me think that it does not rain in Fontaine, which means that something is happening in Fontaine that's causing her concern, and that might be the catalyst to it all. Maybe the reason Oops, I think I hit my mic. My bad. I think maybe the reason that Noubliette is going after Furina right now is because it's raining, which it doesn't normally do, so the prophecy, which we heard at the beginning of the trailer, he might be thinking, oh, it's coming true. Maybe it's something that Furina is doing, so I should try and deal with it. I don't think Noubliette is a bad guy. None specifically. I think what's happening is two conflicting personalities going at each other, and both of them trying to save the people of Fontaine, and them just not agreeing on how to do it, and they're just butting heads. That's what I think the story is going to be. It's Furina versus Noubliette with their vastly different personalities, because she's all about the drama and the excitement and the grandeur of the court proceeding, and I'm guessing that he's the one that Navia was talking about, is all about cold, precise, literal justice. Like, laws are laws are laws, and you do not break the law, and if you do, you get the harsh punishment. So I think that it's just a conflict of personalities, and they're both trying to save the people of Fontaine from this potential prophecy. And it's just causing them to fight with each other, which honestly might have been the point. It is entirely possible that the prophecy is bullcrap, and it was actually Arlecchino who put it out into the world, and she is setting it up so that Noubliette and Furina fight each other, thus giving her more of a chance to get a foothold into Fontaine, control things from the background, take the hydronosis, and get the hell out. Entirely possible. Final thing. Actually, not the final thing. Two more things. Navia is clearly on the side of the one who isn't controlling the mechs. I think, so I would put that as Furina's side for right now. I don't think she necessarily approves of Furina, depending on who it was who said do you think that trials should be seen as an opera? I think that was Navia. I don't have a really good ear for her voice just yet, but I think that was Navia, so I don't think she fully approves of Furina's personality, but she's clearly on Furina's side, if I'm right, that Noubliette is the one controlling the mechs. The thing here is the oratrice. The last thing, the oratrice. So since it supposedly has a conscience, and can give out the correct sentencing. Now, Noubliette is the Chief Justice. He is the one who decides, effectively, whether you are guilty or not guilty. From what it sounds like, the oratrice, however, is the thing that sentences you after you've been pronounced guilty or not guilty. That begs a lot of questions. Does Noubliette resent the oratrice because it supplants part of his power? What is causing it to have a conscience? Does it have a conscience of its own, or is somebody else pulling the strings? For example, is Furina pulling the strings? Maybe that's where the hydronosis is, and it's powering the oratrice, and she's connected to it, and she's the one who delivers the sentence through the oratrice. We know that the previous Hydro Archon's consciousness technically still exists. Is it somehow connected to the oratrice, and thus be able to pronounce justice? The oratrice is going to be somewhat significant. I don't know how yet, but there you have it. So, to synopsize, it's a conflict of personality. Fontaine's going to be a conflict of personalities. Everyone trying to save the nation from this perceived prophetic threat that I honestly do not think is real. I think that the prophecy that says that the nation will be dissolved into the water and all that will be left is the Hydro Archon weeping is bullcrap, and it's just Arlecchino playing the puppeteer from behind the scenes. But I think it's working. It's either working. Yeah, I know, I'm hedging my bets here. It's either working and she is actually pitting Furina versus Noubliette, and they're actually going against it, or they're smarter than I'm giving them credit for, and they're just putting on a counter production and just making her think it's working, which would be an awesome twist. I'll have to say, we will have to see. Okay, so that is my thoughts on the trailer. That is my predictions, everything. If you found this video at all interesting, please like and subscribe. Leave your comments if you agree or disagree with any of my points. I will be doing a live stream of Fontaine when it comes out on August 15th at 10 p.m. Central Time. If you're interested in my reactions, my thoughts, my yelling at Furina to calm the fuck down, stop by. It should be fun. Alright, have a good rest of your day. Bye.